Hello, my name is Beth McDonald Stone, and I'm an avid knitter coming to you this time from Bermuda. I'm home. Yay! Great to be home. If you followed me before, I spent two episodes, so 1 month in New York City. We've been doing that for years and years and years as a summer break. And now I'm home for a bit of a shortish time because next week we're taking our son off to university. So we're here for a bit. I wanted to check in with you now. um, I've finished a lot, working a lot. I've got a new pattern that's coming out, or that will be out. And yeah, and just touch base. We've got Hurricane Erin going to be hanging out around us. I don't think it's going to be a direct hit. Or actually, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a direct hit. No one's really worrying about it, but we're definitely watching it, and I can watch it off the seas, sort of becoming that kind of churny, milky stuff. So you can tell something's brewing. Anyways, we'll talk about that and more. And yeah, so let's get started. So this week's featured pattern and a new publication is the Mango Tee and Sweater DK version. So if you remember earlier on this summer, I published a Mango Tee, which was a fingering weight t-shirt similar to this, but this is the DK weight version. I'm really pleased with it. I love it. It's great. Here's a great picture so you can see how it fits. So it's a really boxy fit with short cuffed sleeves. The information is here to help you get your perfect fit on your sleeve so that it's not pinching, but it's not loose, because you want that contrast, fitted and boxy, to give a flattering is what I'm talking about, or balanced look, so that not everything looks too oversized. So yeah, so this is the DK weight version. Originally, I really wanted it to be in a sweater. Then I found, the Drops Belle, and I love Sandnes Garnlina, so I really wanted the same version in DK weights that everyone's really covered with what they want to knit. So that was really what I wanted to do. And so this is the same fit, everything, boxy through the body. Oh, yay, sorry. I thought I had turned those things off. Anyways, I'm not going to start again, so apologies. But this is a boxy weight, but again, with fitted sleeves. I've ribbed these sleeves. You don't have to do them ribbed. Can you see that they're ribbed? Sorry, yeah, the sun's great to help with that. So in this pattern, there's multiple designs, because there's also instructions on how to do the turtleneck collar and also the basic crew neck collar pickup too. So yeah, so this is the Mango Sweater / TDK, and it's 20% off as usual for the first week of publication. So I hope you love it. This version for the summer one that I've knit and been wearing is the Drops Belle in color number 4, which is a yellow. And then I used, for the stripes, I used some pure silk, which is knitting for all of pure silk. That I held double just to get the right gauge, and that's in lamb's ears, and I just think that worked out really well. And it was just yarn I happened to have. I did order the Drops Belle in this color a while ago when I wanted to knit the Nordic Bloom vest, which I've shown you before, so you can see that in previous episodes. And I thought this yellow was so smart, and I ordered it then, not knowing that I wanted to do this design, so it really worked out. And then the gray, the lamb's ears, was just in my stash too. So I love to stash dive. This one is using the Wandering Flock DK color highlighter, which is a really cool color. Let's see if I can take it off. You can see that it's kind of got splotches and everything through it of neon, which I think is really fun. And then you all helped me pick which contrasting color. I had like a lavender option. I had this citron option, I had a blue, I had a pink, I had an orange, I think too. But I really liked this, and this is really great because it's cool, it's funky, it's got some really neat neon stuff going on, but it's kind of neutral with the top too, so it makes it really flexible. And yeah, so these are the two. I like this picture. I wish I could just take this as a screenshot now, but I will try and do that later because this would be a great cover. Anyways, so yeah, so this is super. It's top down. It is sort of a contiguous method, so you have the increases here with yarn over so that it doesn't sort of bunch up. And so you just start growing it this way, then joining in the neck. Knitting it down, dividing front and back for sleeve opening. So dividing the front panel from the back panel to create a sleeve opening. Sorry, that was jumbled. In this one, I didn't write in the instructions, but if you are a steek knitter and you are comfortable steeking, you can definitely steek here. I was in such a rush with this one. I wanted to get it done before a trip. And so I actually did just create some steek stitches on the side and knit it in the round and then steeked it afterwards. If you know how to steek, or if you're willing to look up steeking, that's super easy. It's a super easy trick to do. And then just, finish the steek stitches and then carry it on with the body. So it is in the round for most of it, especially if you do the steek stitches. And then you pick up for the sleeves, you pick up for the collar. It's all there. The depth here, of course, is determined by your arm size. I give you guides on what I've done and sort of graded it from that. But again, upper arms especially, are so unique and not consistent for your chest measurement or whatever. So it's better just to measure yourself and do what fits for you perfectly, because that's why we make our own clothes, to have that sort of bespoke look. So that's there. And then, of course, my conversation that I've been having for quite some time now on boxy fit items, especially drop sleeve, is I've given the instructions on maybe having to find the right size with your chest measurements, which is sort of a classic way of doing it. But I would also encourage you to consider making your size selections by maybe taking the midpoint of the upper arm from one arm to the other. So taking this width in measurements and doubling it. So I've knit all mine in 48-inch diameter. Like 48 to 50-inch diameter is kind of the ideal, because I am sort of 24, 25 inches. I mean, I could even go up to 54 inches really for boxy, because I just think that's what you want. You want this sort of loose, flattering look. And again, it is balanced by having the fitted sleeves so that you don't look like a paper bag princess or whatever those expressions are. You've got some sort of really nice tailoring and really nice movement. And for the summer top, it's really great for air circulation. And the winter top, I mean, it's just great because I like to wear shirts and stuff underneath it, so it just creates lots of air and space to elegantly layer. Yeah, so this is the Mango Sweater and Tee DK, and it's on Ravelry. 20% off for the first week, and that will end. I've got my notes down here, which will be down below for you too in the description box. It's the same notes. So this is 20% off until midnight Atlantic Standard Time on Friday, August 29th. No coupon required. So that's pretty standard how I work, and I hope you take advantage of it. I think it's a great staple pattern. You can really add all sorts of motifs and stuff, whatever you like. It's a blank canvas. I've done some contrasting details here. I've done some stripe details here. I've got some more plans coming out with designs there of putting in stitch motifs. I've still got more that I really am excited about. So I'm playing with this construction, and I hope you enjoy it too, to play with yourself. So that's great. I think that's it for that one. If you have any questions, email me. All my contact information is below, and I'm wondering if I'm leaning on the table, if it's shaking the camera. So if I am, I will stop that. Sorry. I'm in a different location in my kitchen right now, just because I had so many things going on, and I needed like a wall to hook this on and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm home. This is the kitchen. It's just a bit of a twist. I'm usually sat just over there. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so finished objects. I finished last night. I really didn't think I was going to finish, but it's funny how some projects just like wrap up super quickly. And that was this. This is the Nightlight Shawl by, and I'll take it off because it's actually layered with another shawl. The Nightlight Shawl by Andrea and Mowry. I started this the end of my time in New York City. I just am so addicted to these sort of yarns that radiate color or graduate color. I think they're really fun, and I'm really enjoying shawl making. I'm kind of laughing because I go through waves of wearing them and I go through waves of not wearing them. I haven't this year been wearing them that much. Sorry, this is pulling. Um, and but I just really like knitting them. I like the repetitive stitches. I think it's really beautiful. And I find that really fun and soothing and really exciting with the colors. So I'm really enjoying this. As you've probably noticed, I've done another Andrea Mowry shawl, the Nightshades, about 2 months ago. I did this shawl, which I'll talk about again because I blocked it and looks so much better than it did when I showed you. And I've done this one. This one has not been blocked, so I probably will show you again the next time, just really quickly to see the transformation in blocking, because it's really quite rolling in on itself. Like you can see it's sort of a tube rolling in. Andrea does say that when you block it, it sort of lays flat. Oh, and I forgot. I thought I had gotten all the yarns in, but I've got 2 more, which is really easy. I just feed them through the I-cord. I hope that's what everyone else does because it's super simple and really effective. But yeah, so I'll have to see what happens in blocking, whether it does lay more flat, because it is quite rolled, which I mean, I know it's all about the color, so if it rolls, it's not really a big deal, but I would kind of prefer it to lay flat. But it's a great shawl, and I'm loving all those colors. And the colors, so, oh, Luna says hi. I think she'd like to go out. Let me just let her out here. You can see Luna going out. I don't know how she does it. It is a sauna outside right now. It is so hot and humid because basically the hurricane is to our south, to our southwest, and it's just churning up the sea. So the ocean, which I can see right past this window here, or this French door here, where Luna usually goes in and out on the porch, you can see that the ocean is kind of milky because it's just been churned. Apparently there's a lot of big swells up the street, but you can't see that from here. And there's no air movement right now. Like it's still as anything. It's basically when the hurricanes are to our south or just off us, it's like this crazy air suck. And it's really humid, like 90% plus humidity, no movement, and about in the high 80s and a lot of sun. So it's pretty crazy. We've had a lot of rain showers come by, so there's been a lot of thunderstorms. Like going to sleep last night was really lovely. It was really moody. And probably at the end of the video, I hope to show you a small video of just some of the skies that when I walked the other day, they were just really dark and colorful and wonderful. But anyway, so she likes, my dog, with all that fur, likes to go out and lie in the sun and bake. We've already gone for a 5-mile walk, which I came back soaked, but she's out there baking in the sun. And then she'll come in and lie on the tile and cool off and want to do it again. It's the craziest thing. Anyways, so back to knitting. So the Nightlight shawl. So this is it. I think it's really stunning. And I guess now that I'm wearing it, when I was trying to put it on the mannequin or the dress form last night after I finished it and was going to bed, I was struggling to have it lay flat. And maybe it doesn't really need to, but I'll be curious when I block it. So stay tuned. Next time I'll show you it blocked, but I'm really pleased with it. And the yarn. The yarn is really great. Like I said, I was in New York City and was going to the different knitting stores, which I went to most of them. I have one more to tell you about. And so I had fun picking the colors and everything there. So this is what stopped me in my tracks. This Cascade 220 Superwash wave. Oh, I put my grams that I'm left with. Yeah, sorry. So that's a little note to myself. I do that when I'm wondering what's going on weight-wise. But yes, so this is really cool. It was really affordable. $13, Nitty City. It had a lot of colors. I bought 2. Now, there was a break in one of them that it was knotted back kind of randomly so that the colors didn't flow. But with 2, it was a little bit more than the pattern specified. And so I was able to sort of cut and blend them, especially when I got to the end of the first skein, I could kind of blend it into the other, and I think it worked out perfectly. And I'm not into perfection, so anyways, I think it's great. And if I put those tails in, you wouldn't know where it happened. Anyways, so yeah, so that's what I've got left off of 2. And again, real winner. It's kind of cool. It shows you on the back what it would do. And then I held with it this yarn, which is so beautiful. If I hold it over here, can you see that there's a lot of sort of, it's like a heathered heather. And it's not that. I picked the same. It is, I have written down Plymouth yarn Rome, and I think it's called heather. Violet heather, yes. So Plymouth yarns, Rome, ROAM. And again, that information is just down below. So this is really good too. I really, really, really like it. And I would like to use it again. And I think it was around the same amount. I bought 2 skeins. This is 1 full skein. I didn't need it. And I think it was $10 to $14 a skein each too. So great, affordable yarns, really nice. I think this is non-superwash, so it's, you know, a great woolly wool that I would love to knit in sweaters and stuff. So keep your eye out for these 2, Rome and Wave. I think they're great, really lovely and great colors too. So yeah, so that's that. What else can I say about that? It's a slip stitch pattern. You start at one end and you increase, oops, that's not happening. You start at one end, and you increase until the midsection, and then or midpoint, and then you can decrease. So I guess the moral of the story also is if you have yarn in your stash, you can just knit it to the 50% mark of your weight and decrease. So you could use it all up. And actually, maybe I should have done that, but I was just following the pattern. Yeah, so that I'm really thrilled about too. So that's another finish. And then sort of formally finished, but now blocked. And I think they look quite different. And the first one is the Brightside Shawl by Forest City Knits. And when it was blocked, yes, I was a bit concerned that this wouldn't lie flat because there weren't increases here like there are in the shawl. This shawl is very similarly constructed to Andrea Mowry's Nightlight Shawl, but I found this a much, well, the Nightlight Shawl is going to be great to wear. It's really simple, and if it curls, it curls. But this is a stunning design. I really, really, really think this is beautiful. So this is Patty of the Forest City Knit Girls that has another great podcast. So again, it starts at the corner, goes to the middle. You do sort of broader bends, then you go to the end with decreases, and then you pick up for this center section with some short rows to make it deeper in the center. And again, with the graduating yarn, let's see, that center color is just lovely and a bit of an ombre. So I think this is beautiful. This is a lot lighter. This is sort of a sport weight shawl where the Nightlights is DK worsted. So, but yeah, so I was a bit worried that the front wouldn't lie very well because there was no increases here in the center bit like there is in the shawl itself. And it does poof up a bit, but I think as you can see, it's great. And I can see myself wearing it like this. The pattern does have fringe option along it, and it has tassel options. As you can see, I haven't done either. I don't think I will. I really like it. So that's that. So this is the Brightside Shawl again. And I can't recommend this enough. Oh, and of course, the yarns. So for this one, I did use Spincycle. I had the dark purple in stash, and this is called Purse First. And this is the dyed in the wool Spincycle. So Purse First is kind of one of my favorites. I've used it in the last 2 Spincycle shawls that I've made. I like it because it's sort of a dark purple. It's got some navy blues in it, and I feel that really is a good and easy nod to like my black winter coats and stuff like that. So it ties it in. And then I wanted to offset it with a really bright Spincycle yarn, and so I used Love Spell, and that has got some really beautiful colors. Obviously a lot of the turquoise with some pinks and peaches, and I think a little bit of yellow too. More pinks and peaches, I guess. But it's amazing what happens when it's held with another color or striped with another color. So that's really great. I'm really pleased with those. It's kind of a pretty collection, I have to say. I've been enjoying walking by the other shawl that I knit, which was the Nightshade shawl, and just all the colors. I'm really into colors right now, so that's really fun. And I this morning piled on a few more and I thought it was really pretty. So I think I'll leave the dress form in the hall there with piles of color and shells. It's fun. So the other thing that is finished and blocked now is this top here. This is a new design that I will be sending to the tech editor. I'd hoped to send it to the tech editor before I went away again. It's just too crazy. There's just too much going on. And I feel a bit not organized enough yet. So I'll do it when I get back and things are calmer. So this will be called Ride the Waves, and it's a basic and similar construction as the top I'm wearing right now. But with sort of an old shale pattern going on throughout it and long sleeves. These are not ribbed. I just thought they were lovely, not ribbed, and with shaping to fit my arm and instructions on how to make it fit your own. But yeah, so again, same sort of positive ease. I have let the hem be the hem, so there's slight scalloping at the hem if you wanted to wear it out. I do tend to tuck my shirts in just a little bit to have that kind of cool, chill look. I think it's flattering. I've always done this. It's easier to do it on yourself than on someone else. Oh, here's Linda back in. She's feeling really hot. Yeah, so that will be coming out later in the fall. Yeah, we'll go to the test editors in September. No, the tech editor in September, and hopefully I'll do a call for test editors later on in the month and have that released later. But yeah, and the yarn for this is the Wandering Flock in the Merino Singles color Anthracite and Neon Lilac. And I think it's really lovely. So hope you do. So those are all the finished objects and formally finished objects that have been blocked. What am I working on? Well, the rib vault socks, I have made no progress. I'll just show you again the one that I've completed. I've got the other one, and I'll probably do that on the plane. But yeah, so that's the rib vault socks by Stephen West using lovely yarn from Cake Yarns and their Whisk base, and I have no idea what the color is, but really pretty. And the rib vault socks have that really beautiful sort of smocking stitch. The rib vault socks, as I mentioned before, have that smocking stitch more over the whole sock. It was just too much for me, and I really don't think I wanted it on the foot because it would cause maybe some friction issues, so I just put it on the leg. But nothing happening there, really. I will, again, I had intentions of knitting it on the airplane coming home, and I just slept. I was so tired. It was a really early flight, and our flight to Canada is really early to take my son to school, so it may not happen there either. But I'll have it in my bag. Don't you worry. Anyways, this one, can't you see it? It's all black. It's amazing how black just absorbs the light. And even if I stand back, I think it was maybe better there. But anyways, this, if you can tell, is the Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter. There. Oh, that's good. So as you can see, it's a lace design with all over lace throughout it. My gauge is a bit small. It's smaller than I thought it was. I thought I had compensated for it, but I think I'm knitting this kind of tightly. I'm hoping it's going to relax significantly when it's blocked. Well, we shall see. And I'm knitting it out of Knit Picks Lindy chain, which is right here in the color black. This is yarn I've had in my stash for years, and I just wanted to use it up. It's a great yarn for summer garments. I think it'll be really easygoing, easy wearing, and very cool. It's a bit tough on my hands. That I am having some hand fatigue, especially in the beginning, but I think maybe I've just muscled up and I'm fine now. It is so dark, so thank goodness for stitch markers in it, because otherwise I'd be way off in the pattern. So that's keeping me straight that way. And I'm doing a lot of tinking back because it is so dark. It's so hard to see whether it's a knit stitch or a purl stitch below and where, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm enjoying it. It's totally fine. It is, you know, black yarn. Usually I knit in charcoals, but this is just pitch black. And so it's not it's not been mindless. Let's say that. I'm not unhappy about that. I like using my brain. I like being engaged, so that's totally fine. And what else was I going to say about it? Oh, working on it in Bermuda has been actually a lot easier. As you can tell, the kitchen is very bright, especially during the day. And I actually have really good lighting at my chair where I sit at night. So I'm okay. It was New York where I really struggled, where the lights were okay in the apartment. The apartment was still quite bright, but for some reason I couldn't see very well. Where here I'm doing better, so that's great. So I'm hoping to have that finished by our next episode because I'd like to wear it too. And I'd like to move on because when I finish things, I can start things. So I had already sort of started to plan on what I wanted to knit next. And then ta-da, last night I finished that shawl. And so, yay. So my next plan, because I think that's all what I'm working on, yep. My next knitting plan is to reknit my Kleebrig or Claybrig. I really like this sweater. I should probably put a color picture in here because black and white doesn't really do it justice, but there's black and white, but we'll put the color picture in here. And I knit one in a lot of browns and reds, and I love it. It's really beautiful, but I don't really wear a lot of browns and reds. And so I really wanted to have blues and that sort of thing. So when Magpie Fibers had a sale, and I think this was early spring, like March or whatever, I treated myself to another sweaters quantity using their Nest worsted. So I bought this. So these are the 4 colors that I'm going to work with. Can I do it? Can I do it? So this is actually a really dark navy. And then we've got 2 blues and a cream. And I'm going to do the Claybrig. Out of that. Now the word Claybrig is the name of a house of friends of mine, or the parents of friends of mine. And when I designed it, their mother was passing and passed. But it's fun because without planning, they were visiting on the island and came last weekend and hung out. So that was really fun. And Claybrig is a mountain in Scotland, but the word Claybrig, Clebrig, just to me looks like celebrate. And celebrate, I really kind of like that. So Claybrig, I'm not using it properly. It's a Scottish word. But I kind of think of it as their house, and their house is always fun. Their mother was really, really fun. Kind of kooky, really fun. So celebrate seemed to be sort of the right thing, and Claybrig, in my mind, sounding like celebrate, was how I came up with the name. So yeah, so I'm going to get this on my needles ASAP, actually, today, and start that. I'm really excited about that. In fact, I've wound up one of the main color ready to go. And yeah, and then I just so you can see, I charted it out with the colors. If you ever want to do this, it's really easy. Go to, oh, I'm doing it again. I'll put it across here. And it's a great website where you can, for free, until a certain amount, and then you have to pay after you do something. I think it's like 30. But up until a certain amount, Stitch Fiddle. It's called Stitch Fiddle, stitchfiddle.com. And you can enter your charts and yeah, and put in the colors. And maybe that wasn't the brightest thing for me to be flashing, but whatever. It's a great, I think it's a cool pattern. It again is quite boxy and fitted sleeves, which is, as you know, what I like. And also on my to-do list, I have loved, I'm going to hold it with this stuff behind because I think the light going through it wouldn't work. I have loved this design since it came out. And I don't know when it came out, but I think in the late 20 teens. It's such a cool sweater. And I do kind of have a thing with skulls and witchy stuff. So, and October is coming. So I'm going to knit this. And I'm going to use some leftover nightshades and daylights and work on this. There's 2 options. One with more white, which is the original version, and then one that I think they did an inversion. And so it's less of the contrasting color, the white. And I think I'll do that version. So it'll work for the yarn that I have. And I think that once my son sees this, he's going to want a version for himself too, because during the pandemic for Halloween, he was still old enough to go out for Halloween. I should say during the pandemic, the year after the pandemic, 2021 maybe, he went as an old medicine doctor, you know, with the beaked mask, the leather mask, the beaked mask, the goggles, the cloak, the cane. And anyways, he's always been really fascinated by this. So I have a funny feeling he's going to want a sweater like this, especially when he tries the Canadian winter. He might change his mind on sweaters. And I think that will be the pattern for him. I'll have to do some tweaking because it also, the design is sort of, again, it's sort of a swancho sort of design with a long torso and swingy body and narrow sleeves, where I think it'll be probably pretty easy. My son is very tall and quite broad. He's a big guy. I'm sure if I did especially after knitting it once, I'll have a better feeling for the pattern. But if I did it in a lighter yarn, like a lighter weight yarn, like a DK, I think the stitch gauge is 18 stitches. So if I did like 22 stitches, that would bring up the row gauge, and I can just knit a sweater that would be more appropriate and fit for him. But we'll see. I got to get it going so that he can be inspired. And when he gets cold, he can ask. So that is that. So that's my knitting plans. And then lastly, what have I been up to? So when I last spoke to you 2 weeks ago, I had another weekend in New York City. That afternoon, I was going to go check out a new to me yarn store called Cleo's in Brooklyn. And Cleo's is amazing. It really close to a train station. I can't remember which train station, but it's really easy to get to on the subway. I think like the L train. And I was in Union Square area, so just took the L train right there. Got out. I think it was Morgan Station. Pretty sure. Got out at Morgan, and 5-minute walk. Great shop, really nice space, quite large, really well lit, really naturally sunny, amazing yarns, really incredible range, to be honest. And I'm just trying to think. There was some really interesting hand dye. They had woolly what is it? The woolly mango? No, woolly something like that. Sorry, some really interesting bulky weight yarns, some really interesting natural fiber sort of vegan yarns, some interesting Noro yarns, really, really, really great. And then I talked to the lady who was working there, and she said that the weekends, Friday and Saturdays, they have a knit night. It's very active. They've got a really good community. And would I like to come back? It was a very kind invitation, and I would. Just I couldn't do it then because it was sort of the last few days and it was getting busy. And I think they have a lot of classes. So let me just pause it. I thought my husband was coming in. So they have lots of classes, lots going on, really cool yarns. Looks like a great space. It's definitely going to be on my regular rotation. So that's great. So that's Cleo's. Also, my friend Shannon from Whiskey and Wool, which if you don't follow her on YouTube, she's got another great channel. I've kind of talked to her about her quite a bit. But she recommended a fellow named Alex Reynoso. Yeah, Alex Reynoso from Alex Creates on Instagram as a possible spinning instructor. And so Alex and I got together for a class on Saturday, a private class, one-on-one. And that was amazing. Alex has the most adorable dog. Musha, I believe is her name, but she and I became very close. I can put another fun picture of her and I cuddling. I was really missing Luna by then, so I was really happy to have a dog that was keen to you know, get all cuddly and snuggly. And yeah, I had a great spinning lesson with him. It is hard for me to get the feet doing one thing and the hands doing another thing, and for them to be all working together. I think that would be a really cool thing. I can't tell if my husband's gonna want to come in this back door. Yep. Yeah, so I found the foot pedals and the hand movements, that's going to take a lot of practice. It's like they didn't speak to each other, and it's really good practice, actually, probably really good for your brain. So I'd like to continue with that. I was starting to get the hang of it as much as a newbie's going to. It was great, and Alex was so patient because it was really a struggle at some points, especially at the beginning, the very, very, very beginning. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. And when I'm at Rhinebeck, there was a few years ago, the Knoll post is too far away. Gosh, I really like to lean on things. There we go. When I'm at Rhinebeck, there was a spinning wheel company, and I can't remember the name, and I hope they're there again, but I always thought they were really beautiful, and I hope they're appropriate for new beginners, which I'd love to purchase one of theirs. It was really aesthetically pleasing, beautiful wood, really nice rounded shape. I don't know. Probably not the best way to buy your first spinning wheel, but that's kind of what I have my heart set on. So we'll see. And then also, as you know, when I was in New York, I was taking sewing classes. So I made this skirt here, which you can't really see. It just looks like a gray blur, but it's kind of cool. It's actually kind of dark blue with pockets. Very proud of my pockets. They're not perfect, but it doesn't matter. I love it. I've worn this skirt a lot. And then when I came home, I made this skirt here, elastic waistband, pockets. It goes down to around, you know, this much above my ankles. This one's a little bit shorter. I'm learning. It doesn't matter. They're not supposed to be consistent, but I'm having a great time with that. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to making more skirts. I love skirts. Skirts are my thing. I don't wear pants. Don't wear really shorts. I am a skirt person. I go through phases of skirts and dresses. Right now, I'm not really interested in dresses, but anyways. Because I used to own an interior design firm, I still have some fabrics around. I have this. This is a very famous fabric from Clarence House. It's a heavy linen, and this is kind of what I want to make for my next skirt. So it's pretty fabulous. I don't know why I couldn't use interior fabrics for garments. I know interior fabrics are usually more expensive, so, but the money's already gone. Might as well use it for something fun. This is a linen. It's got sort of like a chintzy finish. I'm going to throw it in the wash and I'll be curious. I would imagine the chintzy finish might, so the glossy finish might lighten, or might, you know, might make the fabric might get softer, and the glossy, the chintz might come off a bit, which is totally fine. It might have a better drape that way. Yeah, I think it's really fun. So we'll see. So that's kind of on my to-do list, whether I get that done before or after, but stay tuned. And if you have any information on why I should or should not use, it's not upholstery fabric. I mean, it can be used for light upholstery, but this has been used for drapery. So it's just going to be sort of a heavier skirt. I think it'll be great. Anyways, that's what I'm planning on doing next. And I have it. So if it goes wrong, oh well. And then the last thing is really just keeping an eye on Hurricane Erin. We're not really worried about it. The process for hurricane, if we are thinking we're going to get a direct hit, would be to bring in all the outdoor furniture, close all the blinds on the house, shutters, we call them blinds, and bring in any plants that might take flight. Put some things, this side of the house is really protected, so we put the car and the bike, Oliver's bike, sort of tuck it up here, maybe into bushes so that it can't really get banged around. And cross our fingers, play cards, and wait it out and hope that we don't lose power for too long because it gets really hot. Hurricanes, this is pretty early for hurricanes. This is the hurricane season from August to November. Hurricanes usually come for us in September, October. Usually more September is the sort of height of hurricane season. And I like hurricanes because it usually means that it's going to take the oppression of the heat away. So usually after a hurricane, the air is kind of cleared a little bit and we go into fall. But when it's this early, it's probably not going to happen. And so then we're still sort of likely to get more hurricanes because it's our heat and humidity and sort of the stagnation of the summer temperatures with cooler air that creates the hurricane situation. And I'm not a meteorologist, and I probably explained that badly, but I do know that if we are hot as we are now and without any sort of change on the horizon, then that means that we're probably going to get some hurricanes. So, and that's fine. Our houses are totally built for it. They're made out of stone. We have roofs that are made to give a little, to flex with the hurricanes so that we don't have any air pressure issues. and we'll be fine. So that's that. So I think that's everything I had to talk to you about today. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope everything's well wherever you are, and I hope you're enjoying the end of summer, end of winter. I know I'm starting to feel fall. I think it's just because we're all talking about back to school. Um, and that's exciting. Fall is really fun, and I can't wait to get into the fall knits. So thanks so much. See you in 2 weeks. Okay, bye.